You aren't going to find anybody who's going to be successful without making a sacrifice and without perseverance. Lou Holtz, my friends, your sacrifice every day is 10 to 15 minutes, and that perseverance is each and every day. Lou Holtz is exactly correct. If you're not in the market every day, you're not going to learn the nuances. Let's jump into these markets. They're about to close. Just have a few more minutes open. We see the S&P 500 up 0.86%. The NASDAQ over 1%. Again, things moving in the right direction. We are still long on those indexes. We're not in the trade on the S&P because we didn't have the proper turnaround. It has been successful, but again, we look for the proper signs. That is a higher, either an average or higher than average volume with a red down candle. This is on a turnaround going from red to green, that is from down to up, with higher than average volume and interim low, and then a switch over, preferably with a green spinning top and average volume. We didn't quite have average volume there. We did have this dead week here. We were awfully close, but we chose instead to go with the Qs. You'll see that in a minute. It was much better. How are things going today? Reaching a higher high. That's nice. We see this latest 2-day candle that will finish drawing tomorrow is a nice green up candle, hitting a higher high above the weekly trend line, as is the half day. Things are looking good. Now the Qs, which is the trade we are in, up over 1% right now, 1.07. And again, things definitely moving in the right direction. We can update our trend line, get a little bit more accurate, being up to date. Now again, don't have a lot of volume backing us up this week, but we are reaching a higher high. Things are going nice. We're above the weekly trend line on the 2-day and on the half day. You can see it's up in the morning, further up in the afternoon. As far as the turnaround went, we had higher than average volume with the interim low, a dead week that next week, just like on the S&P, and then a decent green spinning top with average volume. We actually hit the average volume line. So we chose the Qs. Our worst point at getting in that week, that means the highest was 435.79. And of course, we've reached a high of 503.26. I would say that is absolutely beautiful, from about 436 to 503, and that has all happened since the end of April up until now. Just beautiful. And you can thank inflation for all of that, as we printed money backed by nothing. Real things go up in value. That's what it's all about. You're just blowing up a big balloon, and at some point it bursts. Got a great training for all subscribers today on the fact that a market crash is coming. Is it coming next week or 2 years from now? We don't know, but we are preparing for it because we're going to trade it going down. That means jumping into inverse funds. That is PSQ on the NASDAQ 100 and SH on the S&P 500. So again, want to know what things are about? You need to stay with us. Let's move on from stocks, go to bonds. They're up a little bit for the day, 0.32%. We're not in this trade at all. Why? Because there was no volume to confirm any of this going on. It's just been sloppy. Down last week, it was up the week before. We had a doji. And then this week, it's up. So again, nothing here, just waiting for bonds to reset. And when they do and we can trade them, like the beautiful trade we had back in October of last year, we will indeed do that. So again, we'll just wait. We'll continue to monitor, and we'll see. That's what you do with the stocks you have in your quiver. Those that you are interested in, that you want to trade, either stocks or ETFs, you follow them on a daily basis. When they're tradable, you trade them. When they're not, you don't. And right now, of course, you're practice trading everything that makes itself available and comports with the rules. Why do we use the rules? Because the rules work most all the time. And what do we employ when the rules aren't working? We employ our always winning method. That means that one time the ATR on the 2-day chart is where we set our profit and loss bands. When we hit that loss band, we pull our trade, take our loss. When we hit that profit band at one time ATR, we sell half the trade, we let the rest of it run. How long? Depends on what your getting out points are. You could be waiting for some kind of candle pattern to appear. You could say, I'm going to double what I did on the 1 ATR. It'll be 2 ATR, and then I'm out totally. Again, I like to let it run as long as I can. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but once you get past that one-time ATR, you're playing with the market's money. And again, it makes it a lot more fun to lock in some profit at the beginning. Okay, let's go to gold. What's gold up to? Gold is up again today. Again, an up week last week. We don't have any volume here, as I keep telling you guys. We're in the summertime trading zone. What's the summertime trading zone all about? Well, the summertime trading zone is where that saying, sell and may go away, live to trade another day. What's that all about? That is about the big money going out of the market in the summertime, and there not being the kind of volume you see in the fall-winter trading zone. And winter is coming. And when the fall-winter trading zone gets here, then we typically see more volume, which means we can tell more what is actually going on, and those moves are less likely to be as manipulated, or if they are manipulated, it's easier to see the manipulation. Right now, of course, thanks to inflation, stocks just continue to soar. Again, gold, we don't know what's up with that. You know, we had some down weeks, a couple of up weeks now. No volume backing us up in any of this. We may move up and bounce off this purple ceiling that we have here. We've done that twice. Might give us an idea that things are going to move down again. Hopefully we would get some volume here on the weekly chart that would help us out to see that change. Again, we'll be waiting, watching for it. Where are we on HODL? What is HODL? That is the Bitcoin ETF by Van Eck, and it is still going down. The low last week was, and I have to move this down and get away from this purple ceiling. The low last week was 62.67. This week, 62.24. So we are hitting a lower low. Overall, Bitcoin continues to have that weight on it, pushing it down. That's fine because I'm in a Bitcoin short right now that has been going quite well. We doubled our money when things hit that latest high. And of course, they pulled over some from that. Is the move over? Don't know that yet. Again, as we look at the candles, we can see things still moving up. Now remember, an inverse on Bitcoin, this is one of the inverse funds, a single inverse, BITI. I've just been trading that for real, but again, with practice, not using crazy amount of money here. But I had not traded the Bitcoin short before. It is quite liquid. Again, moves very well with Bitcoin. And it seems to accurately track it as far as pretty close. It's up right now 0.80%. Bitcoin's down 0.70%. So again, I've enjoyed this trade so far. You always enjoy a trade when it goes your way, whether you know what you're doing or not. It always makes you feel good to see that you're in the green. And that is where we are. Bitcoin continues to just move on down. I have already recorded charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies, and the three-wave trades for our Patreon members. You can find those available at the Patreon page. Everything we do, we put up there. We always send the email out on Thursday nights that also includes not only those two videos, but the weekly vertical crossovers. We'll endeavor, even while we're on the ship, even while we're on the Adriatic, to get that email out to you tomorrow. Appreciate your patience as we are traveling. And again, appreciate you. God bless my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World headquarters on the high seas.